morning, folks. Welcome back to Coffee Time with Almeida. Today is Friday, May 1st. Whoa, we made it to May and it's still shitty and rainy out. All right. April showers bring May flowers. May showers bring puddles. Anyway, so I just want to let everybody know that I'm taking next week off to reorganize my thoughts, and we'll be coming back at you live on May 11th with my friend who is a nurse on the front lines, Karen Vieira. And today we have the cocktail guru, Jonathan Pogash. Jonathan, welcome to Coffee Time with Almeida.
Hey, it is an absolute honor and a pleasure, my friend.
Oh, cheers, man. Thanks for coming on. I'm so glad you got to come on today. How's it going?
It's going. I think I'm just kind of waking up a little bit. This is a little early for me to be down in my lab. But, you know, it's always great to see your beautiful face.
Oh, stop lying. So you got some coffee in that cup. It's coffee, milk, no sugar, I see, right?
Correct. Yeah.
All right. Cheers. Wow. Cheers. Milk, no sugar.
Oh.
Everybody takes their coffee different. I haven't had one single guest so you're the 20th guest so far. This is the week 4, end of week 4.
Wow.
And not a single person drinks the coffee the same way.
I mean, variety is the spice of life.
Right. And how do you make your coffee? Do you have a machine?
We have one of those. Bloop.
Oh, yeah. I like this. What's that? It's called the
Chemex. Chemex.
What's that?
Chemex?
Chemex. Oh, I haven't seen one of those. Well, anyways, let's get to it. So let's tell us a little bit. You're in your lab right now, right?
I am, yeah. I've kind of built up the basement a little bit in my house, and I have, you can't see it, but I have rows and rows of alcoholic beverages.
Oh, I've seen it.
Yeah, no, you haven't seen it like this though.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, because we section things off, so we put up walls.
Oh, okay.
We made a kids' playroom over there, and then this whole side is all my stuff. Very, somewhat organized.
Are you in the back corner or where your liquor shelves were?
So if you go downstairs, it's on the left.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, there were shelves there, but it's more organized.
Now it's a room. Now
I have a sink, I have a fridge, I have a freezer.
Whoa! So tell us a little bit about what you do, actually, just so we can fill the folks.
Oh yeah, sure. So I have a consulting company called The Cocktail Guru, and during other times, aside from now, I travel all over the U.S. and I work with bartenders and I train bartenders, and I work with a lot of liquor companies, and I do consulting for the liquor companies. I consult for bars and restaurants. I design their beverage programs and implement craft cocktail programs. And we do a lot of corporate team building mixology classes as well. All across the U.S., I have a team of wonderful mixologists in almost every city. And we've been able to fortunately translate a lot of those things virtually now. So I've already been doing and booking virtual corporate team buildings, virtual happy hours, trainings with my liquor brand partners.
Cool. So, I mean, you've been affected by COVID, obviously, right? You're not traveling anymore. You were traveling a lot.
It's completely my business is travel and events and groups over 10 people.
Oh, geez. Ben Terry says, "Hey, buddy, good morning."
Hey, Ben.
So you normally are in Newport all summer long.
Yeah, that's how I got started up here. I was living in New York City, and that's where I started my bar career. I moved up to Southeast Mass with my wife, Megan. She's from here. And I hustled before moving to try to see what was around that I could do. And everything was Newport. So I basically centered my business in New England, in Newport. And summer times, I do things almost every weekend. And the governor of Rhode Island just essentially canceled all events greater than 50 people, I think, in the state of Rhode Island. So my entire summer, I guess I'm going to still be doing this.
How do you like doing the virtual team building? How is it?
I like it. It's interesting. I do live. In person, I do very few of them. I have other people do them for me. Mm-hmm. So this is actually a little bit more personal, and I get to see more people now that I'm doing it virtually, ironically enough, with the team buildings, and people seem to like it. And we have this company that we partner with cocktail kits. And so we mail out cocktail kits and they can follow along. We send them lists of ingredients and they can follow along. And it's cool. I do trivia, it's fun.
Yeah, because I was gonna say you. I mean, I've been on one of your teams that was remote without you there.
Yeah.
And it was fun, definitely fun time. So I can see it being more interactive for you since you're cutting the middleman out, kind of, right? You're just. I mean, you still have your teams out there, but you are doing the trainings.
Yeah, and I'm also, part of it is to build it up so that I can rehire the people that I was working with before, and they could do the virtual team buildings.
Oh, Brian Cass says good morning.
Hey, Brian Cass, up, buddy.
So let's see here. What do you got going on? Do you feel like making something, or?
Yeah, I have some stuff to make something.
All right, awesome. Let's make a drink. I'll ask you some questions.
So I thought I'd go on the trend of the that whipped coffee. I think they call it the. I'm not a young person, obviously. Neither are you, Chris, obviously. So they call it. I guess they call it the TikTok coffee.
Oh, really? I've only heard about the whipped coffee like 2 times, so you're definitely educating me right now.
It's definitely not new. There's been whipped coffee. In Greece, they have something called frappe, which is like instant coffee whipped with milk and sugar.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess there was some kind of a TikTok challenge or TikTok, whatever, where people were making whipped coffee. So I'm going along with the trend, and I have my instant coffee here. And we're going to do a little drink. Actually, I have my ice right over here. I'm going to open up my freezer and grab my big cube. Here we go. Oh yeah. Have you seen these before?
No, what is that?
So, what is this company called? I forget, but this is directional freezing ice maker. Oh, here. It's called Clearly Frozen. They're out of Massachusetts, actually.
Oh,
Clearly
wow.
Frozen.
Yeah.
And it has this styrofoam insulation, and then it creates the perfectly square clear cubes. Basically.
Holy crap.
Yeah. So
after all these years of using cold draft and all this other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, look.
Pine Bell. What?
It's a nice, it's pretty clear.
Are you putting hot water in there when you do it?
Yeah. So first what I'm going to do is I have some of my extra coffee with milk here, and I'm just going to pour a little bit over ice, just like that. And I have 3 different types of sugar. I have white sugar, brown sugar, and coconut palm sugar. And you can use any sugar that you have at home. It's really not a big deal. And we'll just put that in the shaker. I'm going to whip it in the shaker. Okay. A little bit of, hot water. One sec. I'm still here. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah. It's cool, man. We're getting your background. I like it.
Yeah, there you go. My background, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to put a little bit of hot water in this. Just like that.
Frank Martucci says good morning, too.
Tooch! Tooch. Love it. Okay, so we'll put the coffee in now. We'll put the instant coffee crystals, about 2 little teaspoons here. And in honor of you.
Oh, right. A little Portuguese there.
A little Portuguese. Just a tiny little splash. This is essentially non-alcoholic, but with just a tiny touch of Madeira wine. And we'll do like 1 little cube in there and give it a little whip. Okay?
Whip it good.
This will take a little while, so we can talk while we whip this.
Marco Meza said what's happening also.
Hey, Marco. Is Marco so are they doing to-go cocktails in Rhode Island, or is it just like mixers?
Right now it's only mixers.
Okay.
So I know like Dolores and the Eddie, they're all doing to-go mixers.
Right. Yes, I've seen Marco post photos, and the Eddie post photos too.
Yeah. So
I wish we could do cocktails in Rhode Island. That would be cool. Or in Massachusetts.
Yeah, I think it needs to happen, especially if things are looking the way they're looking for the next 6 months or however long.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. This should be just about ready. Oh, look at that. Beautiful, huh? Whew. Okay. So we'll just pour that right on top.
Whoa. Wow, looks awesome.
Oh, I hear some children crying upstairs. just what happens.
Hey, if I had $1 for every time my kids cried.
I have cinnamon sugar. Woo! Look at that.
All right, cheers. That looks awesome.
All right, good. Cheers. I'm gonna take a little sip. Okay.
Whipped coffee. I need to start making that.
Whipped. You could put your, environmentally friendly straw inside if you want. Like that. That's good. You wouldn't think that, Madeira wine or any kind of wine would go well with coffee, but it actually does. You taste it in there, and it's sweet. It's aromatic. It's spicy. It's really nice.
I love putting alcohol in the coffee. So especially things you wouldn't normally expect.
Right. I know.
I remember your Sailor's Tonic.
Yes.
That drink is awesome.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, Little Moss. That was what was that? It was rum, right? It was spice rum. Was it spice rum in that drink? I don't remember. Spice rum, like tonic syrup and or tonic and coffee. I definitely ripped off that a couple times in the past couple of years. It just, but shaking the coffee just like gives a really nice foam. So it really comes out really great.
Yes, you get the crema. I love, one of my favorites is mixing coffee or a coffee liqueur or espresso with tropical flavors like pineapple and mango and passion fruit.
Oh, all right. I haven't gone down that road. Maybe I need to. And a little bit of cinnamon. Cinnamon always, right?
Cinnamon, yeah. I like using a lighter and grating the cinnamon and making it flare up.
Oh yeah, definitely nice visual for the guests. They love that. They like fire.
They love, fire. I've been doing several of these virtual happy hours, and every time I show people how to flame an orange twist, and they're like, their mind is blown.
So let's get a little serious here. You want to talk about the future? What the future of our industry?
The future of us? Oh,
yeah. Hopefully we'll be friends for a long time, as long as
friends for life. Yes, the future
of COVID don't get us. But yeah, the future of our industry.
Yeah.
What do you think's going to happen?
Well, I think it's really interesting that places are starting to open up again now. I don't think anywhere is nearly ready. I don't think places should be opening up. Number one, I think it's too soon.
Yes, agreed.
I think it gives a false hope to not only guests but also to bartenders, more specifically, because there are a lot of restrictions, which I guess is good. If you are opening up, 25% capacity, 30, whatever. Each state has their own sort of limit. You can only be at tables outside 6 feet apart. Everyone has to wear masks and all of that. And that's good. But like I said, I think it's too soon. And I'm a member of a lot of Facebook groups, bartender Facebook groups. And bartenders, I think, are worried. They're saying, my boss just told me to come back to work on Monday, and I don't feel comfortable doing that. And if I don't go back to work, then I can't get unemployment because I'm refusing work. And, I think this is a really tough time for a lot of 31 states are reopening their businesses starting next week.
Oh, really? That many? Jeez.
Yeah, in some capacity. But it's not going to be the same. We have places that are already closing for good. Pegu Club in New York City just yesterday mentioned that they're closing for good.
Are you serious? Oh my God.
Yeah. Pegu Club, they were celebrating their 15th anniversary this October.
Oh. I like that
place. Yeah, I know. They're an iconic cocktail bar in New York City, one of the very first to bring the craft cocktail movement to the people in New York. And Audrey Saunders is the owner, and she started it with Julie Reiner, and she posted a long tribute yesterday. And it's heartbreaking, and we're going to see that. We're going to see, I think, a lot of restaurants starting to open up, and they're just not going to be able to survive with the limited service and limited capacity.
Well, exactly, because how can you cover your overhead? You're gonna and they're gonna have all these new expenses like masks and gloves and disposable this and disposable that, and then hiring this person for this new job and checking people at the door. It seems like craziness to me.
It's craziness, and it's going to take so long. It's going to take a long time to recover. I do believe we will, but but it's changing the industry. It's changing the hospitality world for good in some ways. I think prices of drinks will change, food prices will change, the way that restaurants are laid out will change for sure. I think a lot of bars will start eliminating bar stools in general when they start to create their bars. And it might just be a walk-up bar or, a service bar mostly. And more outdoor areas, which is good. I think places will really start to create more outdoor areas. It'll be tough in our area because it's very limited 2 or 3 months where people can really be outdoors comfortably.
Yeah, and a lot of space, especially in the city, don't have outdoor space availability at all.
Right, and I saw, I've been following, like I said, I've been following people in the industry, and Maine just this week started doing to-go cocktails, which is great. One of my team members, Liz Smith, she works for the Cocktail Guru. She also runs a bar, and she's been super busy making cocktails. There are restrictions, it has to be with food. They have to email the liquor board, I think every day or every time there's an order that comes in, something. And they're even talking about potentially, I think it was Brianna, who owns Hunt and Alpine Club.
Mm-hmm.
Brianna and Andrew, they're pushing for, I don't know if they are pushing for it, but some people are pushing for the cities to allow parking spaces outside of restaurants and bars to be used as outdoor areas. So I don't know if that's happening in other parts of the country as well, but that's kind of an interesting idea. Designating sidewalk and parking spots in the street and blocking them off for seating.
Oh, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I know that like Providence did something last year where they had like green area. They took all the parking spaces up. Do you remember that? And they served in the street type of thing?
Yes.
And you look at Maine and they're a control state, so their liquor laws are pretty crazy. So
yeah, they're a control state, and Pennsylvania is looking like they might do to-go cocktails, and Oregon as well. Florida's been doing it. New York's been doing it. Several other states have been doing it. It's interesting in Florida. One of my favorite places in Fort Lauderdale is Mai Kai. Have you been to Mai Kai, Chris?
No, I haven't been down there since I started getting into cocktails. So
okay, it is a cocktail place, but it's not a craft place. It's one of the last remaining traditional tiki bars. They do a tiki show. They do several tiki shows every night. It's really cool. It's Polynesian tiki bar. And they are famous for, obviously, their tiki cocktails, but they're doing gallons and gallons of tiki cocktails to go. So every week I see their posts on Facebook, and it's just like gallons of jugs, and they're, the bartenders are pre-batching, and it's just incredible. It's really incredible.
I mean, really, it's the only way we can go if they expect us to survive without having bars, and how many bartenders are out of work right now? Like across the country, there's probably got to be millions, right?
I think it's 80%.
Oh, really? So, and what else are we supposed to do?
Yeah, I mean, there's really nothing else to do, and it's interesting too. For me personally, most of my work, my work is almost 50-50 off-premise and on-premise. So for those people who are not familiar, off-premise is like liquor stores and consumer-based events, and then on-premise is bars and restaurants, right? So off-premise liquor sales are up, right? Because everyone is stashing booze and ordering liquor and going to the liquor stores since it's an essential business. But bar and restaurant liquor sales are super down. I think it was about 80% down liquor sales for bars and restaurants as well. So it's a balance for me because the consumer events have been canceled, and then the bar and restaurant, obviously that's not happening. So the budgets with liquor brands, and then that's all in flux as well. So it's a trickle down effect, the bars and restaurants, and then people who are in my position, and then other people in the hospitality industry too.
Yeah. So for like my particular situation, if we just go to go for however many months where I'm at the Tasty, my job is technically eliminated.
Well, but you're gonna be the creative, and you're gonna batch the cocktails and rest.
Exactly. So hopefully that we can get saved by being able to go do to go, and we already have a plan that we're talking about for mixers, but for to make it worth it for everybody, we really need to get the dollars into the liquor sales, right?
Right. And I don't know if the Tasty has done it, but there's the PPP loans. I'm assuming that they've filed for a.
Oh yeah, we got one, but we're not sure if we're going to use it.
I just found out I got mine yesterday.
Oh really?
Yeah, and I don't know how it works because I'm also getting unemployment. So if I don't know if I can still get unemployment if I use the loan.
You can't.
I can't, right?
No, this is a longer conversation. Maybe we can chat about it later. But I know that you have to use the PPE loan, all of it, in 8 weeks.
Right.
And you also have to bring back 75% of your staff.
Or 75%. Yeah, 75% has to be for payroll.
Yeah, for payroll. And I think there was some other weird things in there too. But eventually, you have this money for 8 weeks as a buffer, and then after 8 weeks, if things aren't better for you, then I guess you can lay your staff back off and put them back on unemployment. But who's to say, what buffer time that's going to be? I think everybody is in the same boat. No one knows what to do.
Yeah. I never thought that in my lifetime or in any of my family's lifetime we would be experiencing this.
Yeah, it's crazy because literally one day, everything's going amazing. Like the restaurant, we're killing numbers, killing it in February. We're getting ready to open a second place. I don't know if you knew about that, but everything is just the record scratch. Everything's going amazing, and no fault to your own. It's just gone like an atomic bomb hit it.
Right, and like we were talking about earlier, the recovery. Fortunately, there is light at the end of the tunnel. We can see it. We see things. Obviously, we still need to be vigilant and stay at home and protect ourselves and wear our masks when we can't be socially distant. But we see things kind of starting to arch towards a flattening. But then there's the fear of a recurrence because of all the idiots out there that are congregating and protesting, and it's insane.
And states like Georgia, who didn't even hit their peak, reopened everything.
Yeah.
So it'll be really interesting to see. Hopefully the resurgence isn't crazy, and we're not facing this again in November, being like, oh, we got to shut everything down. Guess what, guys? You can't see your families for Christmas or Hanukkah. It's like,
hey, my kids just this morning said, "Are we still going to have Halloween? Are we still going to have Christmas?"
It's my kids are a little a couple years younger than your kids, so they're kind of don't get it yet. But I feel for everybody whose kids are kind of are we going to have holidays ever again?
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's tough. For us, my in-laws, my wife's parents, they're older and they have pre-existing conditions. So throughout all of this, we've been, maintaining social distance from them. And it's tough. Even with our quarantine, we've just still been doing it, just out of heightened awareness for everything. And the kids, it's tough with the kids,
Yes. So my parents are in Fall River, and my kids go to their house every weekend. And so it's tough on the both of them. I think it's tougher on my parents because my kids are young and they kind of don't really realize it. But,
right.
They haven't seen my parents in at least 6 weeks.
Right. Yeah, that's a big adjustment.
And we're afraid to go see them. Obviously, we're staying in quarantine and everybody's being as safe as possible. But who knows, so you really can't take any chances.
Right.
Yeah, because both my parents have pre-existing conditions. After a certain age, I have 2 pre-existing conditions. So, I guess we got to be careful. We got to still be careful, What are the things you're looking forward to coming up in the next couple of weeks, next month?
It's our anniversary. Tuesday, whatever day May 6th is the anniversary of our marriage, my wife and I, Megan. And it will be 13 years of being married and about 20 years, almost 20 years of being together.
Oh, that's amazing, dude. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
How's Megan doing through all this?
Yeah, she's doing well. There are certain times of the day, certain days that are tougher than others. It's all around it's tough, maintaining a schedule and trying to get the kids focused. That's a big thing. We've been watching Star Wars. The kids have been watching Star Wars.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and now they're obsessed, and they both want to be Darth Vader for Halloween.
Do you guys have any Netflix binges that you're watching other than Star Wars?
We've been watching Schitt's Creek, which is
I haven't watched that one yet. You like it?
Yeah, it's a hilarious show. And what else? And with the kids, we've been binging Star Wars. We're trying to do more meditation. We're trying to do more yoga and kind of take the time to do that. And I've been taking really long walks. We've all been taking family walks and bike rides when it's nice outside. This is definitely the most amount of time I've spent home, obviously by far, because I'm usually on the road. So I'm realizing, and we're realizing that I can do a lot of my work just from home. So what I think, one of the bright features of what's happening is I'm probably going to spend less time traveling now and do more from home.
Yeah, and that's great that I think we're all going to come out of this with some stuff, right? Some stuff that's going to be beneficial to our lives. Hopefully not much is going to be detrimental, but things like working from home and traveling less and, save more money, spend more time with our family, cooking more, hopefully. All right. So you also have a outdoor space. So you're doing some gardening yet?
Yeah. So we, and I see your posts and I take advice that you give online too, because you are a master gardener. I know. And actually I could use a little bit of advice. I got some seeds in, and this is the first time I start crops seed, and we're going to plant way more. We've got zucchini and broccoli and tomatoes and herbs and all sorts of things. So I'm assuming if I plant the seeds now, I'll need to start them inside until they sprout, and then once they sprout, I could put them outside.
Yeah, I think it's like we're kind of on the borderline where it's getting a little late for that. I'm gonna do some of that myself, and then some of the stuff I'm gonna direct sow. But if you look at the back of your packages for your seeds, you'll see like you can put these direct sow in the ground, and they'll be cool. And then some other ones that definitely need to be started inside.
Yeah.
What I would do is I would start my seedlings inside, and then once they get big enough, put them outside, but don't plant them yet. So you got to let them acclimate.
Oh yeah, right.
And once they're acclimated, then you can stick them in the ground. I would just be, from my experience, the hardest thing about gardening is rodents, like rabbits.
Oh yeah.
And just like, especially when you have seedlings, they love those things.
Right.
I planted, no joke, 1,000 sunflower seeds last year.
Yeah.
And I got like 5 sunflower plants.
Really?
Because my fence wasn't fortified. And I was just being lazy about it. I was working all the time too. So it's kind of like you only have so much time in life, right? So you're like, okay, I'm gonna do this. And I definitely think I neglected my garden the last couple of years, and this year is definitely completely opposite.
Okay.
So I just made sure that my fence was good to go before I put anything in the ground this year.
Yeah. All right.
And I also started like a little cold frame, which is you put some glass over the top of it. I'll send you some pictures of it.
Okay.
So it's kind of good if you want to like grow kale or some leafy greens. You can start them early, and they also go later in the year. So that's definitely what I'll be looking forward to this year. Later in the year is planting stuff inside those cold frames. So I'll have more greens later in the year.
Yes, I know. I saw on the packets of the kale. We also have kale and spinach that you can replant them even through the winter.
One of our chefs had kale growing in his yard this year, and it overwintered, and he just cut it down and used it now, and it was like amazing.
Wow, that's crazy.
So it's pretty cool. I think like for me, I really like going outside and getting the gardening thing done and digging in the dirt.
Yeah, we also have a bunch of wood. We had some trees cut down, and so I'm gonna try splitting wood.
Oh, get a good pair of gloves. You got a good pair of gloves, gardening gloves?
Yeah, I have gloves. I was told I should wear boots. And I have a chopping block. My friend Noah, Noah, in New Bedford, he lent me a chopping block, and yeah, we'll see how that goes.
I have one more question before we got out of here. Brian Cass does say happy anniversary. Gio Thompson says, hey guys.
Hey Gio.
And Jason Trenholm says, do you see the price of top shelf liquor and regular liquor going down as we begin to normalize again? Or do you think drink prices will remain the same once restaurants reopen for dining?
I think drink prices will go up to compensate for the overhead. the potential overhead loss. And I don't think liquor or wine or beer in stores will go down. I think it'll be the same or a little bit higher.
I mean, the prices have to go up. The prices in the restaurant business have had to go up for a long time, and we haven't done it.
Right.
You know, especially when it comes to plated food that we're getting from local farms, and like there's so much time and energy goes into this, and the margins are so small, and that's what led us to this problem where no one has any money saved.
Right. You know, the cost of goods for cocktails, generally speaking, is about 20%. Right. We always try to keep it at about 20%, and for food, the cost of goods is much higher. You know, over 50%. So you're going to see that cost of goods for food try to go down. And the way that you do that is you raise the food prices.
Yeah, it's the only way. It's the only way. And I know it sounds unfortunate, but you know, we got to do something to save our industry when we get back. Among a million other things, I'm sure.
Right.
We have Tris Hoover. She says, "Love your show, Chris, and thank you, Jonathan, for coming on today."
My pleasure. Thank you.
And I want to thank you so much. And hopefully, we're going to get to hang out this summer.
I know. I hope so. I mean, I have a mask.
I have a mask. Did you see my baby diaper mask? Where the hell did it go?
What? Gross.
Yeah, no. Oh, here it is. Hang on.
Did you make it out of a baby diaper?
Well, I went to the store the other day and I didn't have a mask, and I was like, shit, man, I'm the guy with no mask. And I usually like use a bar rag. Bar rags work rather well, actually.
Okay.
So I was like, but I do have a diaper. So but it's not used.
No, you didn't.
It's a panda diaper.
Oh God!
And I got a little string on it here. I'll spell off, but you know.
Oh God!
I mean, it keeps the stink in, right? So.
So gross.
Hey, when in desperate times, desperate measures, panda diaper mask. But all right, man. Well, hey, thank you so much for coming on today, and you guys go follow Jonathan, the Cocktail Guru, on Facebook and Instagram. I got his stuff on our website, and maybe we'll share some more stuff later on today. And you got any good plans for the weekend?
We're just trying to relax. Actually, you know Rebel Bagels in Providence?
Sure. So
I put in an order because I've been craving like bagels, lox, whitefish, cream cheese.
Oh.
So they do curbside. You know, they've got curbside pickup. So it'll be my first time kind of venturing out of town, and I'm gonna do that. I put in an order. I'm gonna go pick it up and bring it home.
Awesome. I actually started making bagels myself.
I'm curious. I'd like to try and make bagels.
I'll send you the recipe. It's super easy. Just a little time consuming, but awesome, dude. Hey, thank you so much for coming on to the show today. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right, I'm just gonna hang on for 1 minute while we wrap up here and roll a clip. So, folks, I am taking the week off next week. I really appreciate everybody watching for the last 20 episodes. Today is the 20th episode of Coffee Time with Almeida. Can you guys believe it already? 4 weeks have gone by, and taking the next week to book out a month or so. So if anybody has an itch to be on Coffee Time, hit me up. And going to be planning some cool stuff coming up, and getting some of the old shows up on Instagram so people can see them on there if they don't have Facebook. And I just want to thank everybody so much, and have a great May Day and a great weekend. And I will see you on Monday, May 11th, I believe is the date. So anyways, I'll talk to you all on the internet, and I leave you with the comic genius of Josh Bell.
You think you can come into my life, waltz around, take whatever you want? Is that what you think? I thought I'd come into your life and we'd share something special, Tom. And what the fuck did I do to make you think this way, huh? Did I want to what? All of a sudden I want to suck a fucking guy's cock? I just came to see if you wanted to play some Scrabble, boss. Why didn't you say so, Perfect Lips? I fucking love Scrabble.
Coffee time without